Best car, raw star, lot of sound. Blue shine, best
Amex Nation for real.
I said, shawty, do you remember me?
What's up, family? Back again, another video. So as you guys can see from the title of this video is going to show you guys how you are able to turn business credit into cash. Yes, I'm about to drop some real live sauce and gems and information, obviously all mean the same thing, about how you guys can turn your business credit into cash. So as promised, I told you guys I'm going to be dropping multiple videos as far as funding, business credit, loans, personal credit, all type of information and business tips for you guys to help you out with your personal journeys, your business journeys, etc., etc. That's what I'm here for, okay? So obviously, as you guys can see, on top of my normal everyday videos, I do also do business videos. So like I said, I have a lot of business videos coming up over the next week, so I definitely want you guys to tune in and subscribe to the channel. If you are not already a part of the family, please hit the subscribe button and join the gang, okay? Period. So now, before I even get into the video, let me also just say that if you guys are not currently in my Facebook group, make sure you click the link in the description to join my Facebook group, because in the Facebook group, I definitely drop a lot of gems and information in there that honestly, most of the information can't even go on the YouTube channel, okay? So make sure that you guys are in the Facebook group to get all the information that you don't even get here. So that's very important. Also, if you guys have not already, make sure you guys check out my website, dollarsanddollars.com. I have a lot of information on dollarsanddollars.com as far as ebooks, classes, class replays, lives, all types of things like that you guys, I'm pretty sure you will be interested in. So just make sure you go over there and check it out as well. If you guys would like to book a consultation call with me, definitely email me at info@dollarsanddollars.com. You can definitely schedule a consultation call with me through the email. I was putting the consultation call link in the description of the videos, but I've been getting a lot of people booking those calls up, and some of them I have not been able to even get to. So it'll be easier for me to accept the call first instead of, you know, you being able to just book it instantly, if that makes sense. So yeah, if you guys want to book a consultation call with me, just go ahead and send me an email and I'll send you the link back and we can go from there. So guys, let's just hop right into the video. So like I said, this video is about turning business credit into cash. Now there are so many different ways that you're able to do this. Mind you, like so many different ways. So I also noticed, before I get into the video, sorry, I like stuff to mention. But before I get into the video, I also noticed that on some of my previous videos, sometimes I forget to mention certain things. So I decided that, you know, now I'm gonna actually put up some notes so I don't forget anything. I've literally noticed on like a few of my past business videos that I left, you know, information out. So when I did notice, of course, I went back and I edited my description. I put the information into the description. So also make sure you guys check out the descriptions as well, because a lot of times if there's something I left out in the video, then I'll just put it in the description. But also the description has all the, of course, the links and information that you want to get as well anyway. So make sure you guys also not only just subscribe to the channel, but also make sure you read the descriptions as well. But yeah, so I definitely put up my notes so I just can make sure that I don't leave anything out. So you guys just see me kind of looking to the screen a little bit. Just know I'm just trying to make sure I put all the information in without leaving anything out, because I tend to do that because, you know, like I said, when I start talking, I just be going like the bunny, period. So anyway guys, so yeah, so let me go ahead and give you all the information. Let's just hop right into it. So first off, so again, like I said, there are multiple different ways that you're able to do this. So I'm going to pretty much give you all the ways that I personally know about. If there's any other information that I leave out of this video that I definitely just don't mention at all, definitely feel free to add that information into the comment section. If you guys have some information that you're able to give me and my followers, my viewers, my subscribers, definitely go ahead and drop your information as well. So if you have anything to add, it's always much appreciated. So first off, let's go ahead and start with the first strategy, which I personally call the balance transfer strategy. Now this is my favorite strategy as far as doing this, because for one, it basically just helps overall. Like I said, it's the one that costs the least, it's the one that doesn't affect your personal credit, it's the one that gets you the higher limits. It's pretty much all of the above. So this is basically, like I said, one of my favorites. So how this one works is, well, for one, let me also mention that it works better for business credit than it does for personal credit. Does it work for personal credit? Yes, it does. But again, it works better for business credit than it does for personal credit. Because basically what you do here is if you have just, first I'm just giving an example just to, explain it out. So say for example, I have 2 credit cards and I have one with a 0% balance transfer fee. And then I have one that has a balance transfer fee. Or say for example, I have 2 credit cards and both of them have a 0% balance transfer fee. So for one, let me just make sure you guys understand that the whole point is you want to have at least one of your credit cards with a balance transfer fee. So why I said that it's better for business credit is because with business credit, it does not affect your personal credit. So what we're doing is we're actually transferring the balance on one credit card to the other credit card that has that 0% balance transfer fee. So of course, obviously it's mandatory that you have a credit card with a 0% balance transfer fee. So for example, if I have a business credit card, one of my business credit cards, I have $50,000 on, right? Now, what you're gonna do is you're gonna completely max out the entire card. What I mean by max out the card is you're gonna spend every piece of $50,000 on that card. So once that card is maxed out, you immediately transfer the balance over to your card that has a 0% balance transfer fee. Now the other card, like I said, the second card that you're transferring to has to have that 0% fee, because basically if it doesn't, then you're obviously not going to be getting the benefits of how this play basically even works, because you're going to be charged fees, and who wants to be charged fees? But yeah, so that's all you pretty much actually have to do for it. So again, why I say it's better with business credit, because again, it does not affect your personal credit. So if we were to do this on the personal credit side, which again, like I said, you are able to do, so then yes, you can do it on the personal credit side, but I do not recommend it because, say for example, I have a credit card on my personal credit, right? Or my 2 credit cards on my personal credit. And it had the same amount on the $50K on a personal credit card. Once I max out that credit card, the whole $50K limit, even if I still do the balance transfer, it is still maxed out on my personal credit. And of course, if you guys don't know, that does not actually help your credit in a positive way. It actually helps your credit in a negative way. So we don't want to mess up our credit. We don't want to add high utilizations. We don't want to have maxed out credit cards with that amount, any of that type of stuff on personal credit. So again, like I said just 3 times just now, it's better to do it on your business credit or with business credit cards versus personal credit. Again, if you're not able to, get business credit cards, you're not qualified yet, and that type of thing, and you just pretty much, and you like need emergency funds where you have to pretty much do that, run it basically on your personal credit, then of course, like I just said, you can't do it, but you have to just realize that you're gonna be affecting your personal credit in a negative way by doing that. Now, the only thing as far as it not really hurting your personal credit is if your limit is like really, really high. So if you have like a credit card on your personal credit that's like $80,000, like an $80,000 limit. So of course, the higher the limit, then it won't hurt as much, basically, right? So with the higher than $80,000 limit, of course, I'll probably, max out about 30, 40K for whatever, purposes. So, you can definitely use the money for anything you want to use it for. So you can literally use the money for, if you have a business, you need to buy inventory. If you want to purchase vehicles to start a rental car business, anything of that sort, right? So pretty much that's how you can do it. But again, you would need like a personal credit card with a very high limit to do it that way. But again, I just don't really recommend it because, like I said, I don't want to touch my personal credit or bother my personal credit in a negative way at all. Again, unless you have that really high limit. And also, places like Navy Federal has credit cards with like really high limits. Like their flagship card goes up to like $80,000. So if you were to, able to get approved for a Navy Federal flagship card for the complete 80K limit, then of course you can run this plan on personal credit. But of course, like I said, I would still just watch my utilization. Always watch your utilization. Always keep it below 30%. I personally say under 20%. If 30% is what you're telling me to keep it under, then I'm gonna keep it under 20. If I can keep it under 10, I'm gonna keep it under 10. Like just as low as possible, honestly, as low as possible. So always make sure you are keeping your credit utilization very, very low when it comes to your personal credit. So also when it comes to business credit cards, as far as this strategy goes, so if you guys have ever, tried to work with a company or even tried yourself as far as applying for business credit, or at least business credit funding through credit cards, if you guys have heard of the term called business credit stacking or credit card stacking, they call it different things, all kind of whatever, but yeah, credit card stacking. If you actually tried credit card stacking, stacking, which is basically what you do is you will apply for all your credit cards at one time. And this is something that you really do want to do. So you will apply for all your credit cards, which off your business credit. Mind you, we are just solely speaking on business credit right now. With your business credit at one time, let's say I apply for at least 4 or 5 cards at one time. So I get my limits to all these cards. So what happens is, again, this is called business credit stacking. So normally like with outside companies, so if you ever like did this with a company will most likely run you through like different banks and different credit card companies or whatnot, whatever case may be, whoever they're running you through to get you all these approvals at one time. So say they run you for at least 4 cards for a total of $150,000 combined with all 4 cards, right? And then of course the company normally like just takes a fee out of your total, out of your limits, and as their payment. But basically it helps you, get your funding at one time. So this is another form of funding when it comes to business credit. So what they do, like I said, they'll take their fee out of that funding, and basically you're able to, of course, like you do the same thing, so you can run the same place. So again, either way, no matter afterwards, you still have your amount on your credit card. So you still do the same thing though. You still can do the same thing. So once you have those approvals on those cards, you can still make sure you also have another separate card with a 0% balance transfer fee that you're able to, you can actually do this with multiple cards. So mind you, that's what I'm mentioning this because you're able to do it with multiple cards. So you're able to actually spread that amount through multiple cards. So again, so it works, like I said, better with business credit because obviously doing this, even with all of your cards, all 4 cards, maxing out, mind you, what I mean is maxing out all 4 cards, it still won't affect your personal credit at all. So that's what I definitely love about it as far as that goes. So that's why I said this is definitely one of the ways that I recommend being the best way. Now, they don't have to be new cards at all. So if you actually have cards, like they can be, like I said, if you already have cards on hand that you already have limits on, you can still run the same play. But again, you still have to have a separate card with the 0% balance transfer fee. So if you have old cards you've already been approved for in the past that you want to do this for, you can do it. So that's no problem at all either. Now, another great card to use as far as the balance transfer strategy is the Amex card. So the Amex Gold cards, Amex Platinum cards are just great cards to use. So as far as Amex goes, let me also mention that if you guys want me to drop a video as far as how you are able to get approved for Amex cards, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are like, well, I don't even have an Amex card, I can't get approved for Amex card. There are definitely ways to get around getting approved for an Amex card, whether you have good or bad credit. Yes, I said it. If you have good credit or bad credit, you can still be approved for an Amex business card, even with a high limit. If you guys want to know how you can do that, make sure you guys like this video and make sure you guys drop a comment, and I promise I will drop a video telling you guys exactly the play on how you can get approved for Amex card with bad credit. Yeah, don't play with me. We're dropping a lot of sauce on this channel, I'm telling you, so please make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, like I'm telling you. So yes guys, so as far as the Amex credit cards go, even with Amex cards, like I said, same thing applies. So say for example you were approved for, I know people with $100,000 limits on their Amex credit cards, running the same play. Max out the entire card, transfer over to a 0% balance transfer card, and to Amex, that's a great look. So I don't know if anybody's thinking like, well, that don't look good. No, that's a great look. They're thinking that you're able to go ahead and spend this money. You're able to take care of this money and access this money, and that's it. Like that's how they see it. They're not seeing it as, oh, you're maxing out the card. No, that's not how they look at it, especially when it's coming off the business credit. You have to understand how this works. You have to understand the inside of how these things work. So when they see you doing something like that, it's actually a good thing. So even with that, even with starting at certain limits with Amex cards, over time limits can be increased. Limits go up over time. So you have to also pay attention to that as well. So definitely don't get discouraged as far as thinking, oh, I'm maxing out cards, it's not a good thing. Yeah, it is. That's the whole point of you putting it over to a 0% balance transfer card. Again, that's the whole key to that play, is to make sure you are definitely using a 0% balance transfer card that you're transferring to. Okay? Right. So as far as with the Amex cards go, of course there are business Amex cards and there are personal Amex cards. Again, same thing applies. I suggest doing this with the business side, because with the personal side, Amex does report your utilization to your personal credit report. So if you were to do this, again, like I mentioned earlier, on your personal credit report, just know that they do report utilization. So once you max out the card, that maxed out card utilization information is going to be reporting on your personal credit report, and nobody really wants that. I need some water. I'm sorry. But again, I definitely recommend doing this on the business credit side instead. Okay. Now a lot of people try to figure out, you know, like how much does it actually cost to do it. So you have to think, like, you know, normally the credit card companies have like at least about a 2 to 3% interest fee as far as actually, you know, doing it that way. So you have to think, like, on a 30,000, anything between like $20,000 to $30,000 credit card, 2 to 3% interest, that's pretty much like $200 to $300. So you're basically spending nothing but like $200 to $300 to actually make $20,000 to $30,000. So, you know, you have to really ask yourself, like, am I willing to do something like that? Like, would I spend that amount of money to make that amount of money? Yes or no? Yes or no? So if you're anyone who's like, well, Day, well, I don't have business credit. I also pretty much don't even have good personal credit to even get approved for, you know, these credit cards. Then my suggestion to you would definitely be to go ahead and start a business. So go ahead and start a business and start building business credit. You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait next week, next month, next year. No, you can start right now if you have not started building business credit. What type of business can you start? YouTube, this is a business right here. If you do hair, that's a business. If you sell t-shirts, that's a business. If you design shoes, that's a business. If you make curtains or rugs, that's a business. If you resell items, that's a business. Like, whatever the case may be, whatever your business is, if you have a business, I recommend everybody building business credit on their business. No one in the world should have a business and not be building business credit on it. No one in the world should actually have in possession an EIN number and an LLC and this type of information, and they're not actually building business credit on it. If you guys understood the amount of funding and the levels that you're able to go with just business credit alone, trust me, you will start wanting to build businesses and another one and another one and another one and another one once you actually realize what happens with business credit. So if you have a business and you are not already building business credit on it, I definitely suggest and recommend you go ahead and doing that. If you don't have a business and you want to run these plays, you definitely need to go ahead and start a business. Literally, so if you need to contact me to help you out, email in the bio. Let's book a consultation call, let's hop on the phone, and let's talk about it, okay? Now, also another thing I want you guys to understand is as far as when it comes to credit cards, so say for example, you got approved for a credit card with a $1,000 limit, right? So even with a credit card with a $1,000 limit, you have to understand with most credit cards, you're able to raise limits over time. So if that's something that the credit card that you're applying for offers, make sure you, of course, you know, before you even apply for a credit card, you should also always be looking at the terms and the rates and the benefits and everything about it before you actually apply to make sure that's a credit card that, you know, that is going to benefit you. So any credit card you see with a 0% APR rate and a 0% balance transfer fee, those are great. So definitely those are great. So any credit card also that allows you to raise limits over time. So again, like I mentioned earlier, the Navy Federal flagship card, that's a card that also allows you to like raise your limit on time. So they might start you off with a certain limit, but over time, as you actually make your payments on time and keep your balance history positive, then they'll keep increasing your limit. I know Capital One is a bank that does that as well. They start you with a certain limit most times, and over time, as you again make your payments on time, keep your payment history positive, they will increase your limit and increase your limit. They'll just continuously increase your limit. So definitely just keep that in mind as well. So don't be discouraged if you get approved for a car and you're like, oh my God, my car was only, you know, $1,000. I'm trying to go for, you know, I'm trying to get $40,000. But again, that's another reason that you should definitely build business credit, because a lot of times there are a lot of banks out here or credit unions and also credit card companies that, you know, fund business credit cards just based off your paydex score. And it's so easy to obtain a paydex score. So while I mentioned the paydex score, if you guys have not already watched my video on how you are able to build business credit, make sure you go and watch that video so you can actually get your paydex score. Because I have a lot of reviews and I see that a lot of people are watching that video and actually obtaining their paydex score. So I know I did something right. One time for the one time. So yeah, definitely. So make sure you guys, like I said, go ahead and build your business credit. Go ahead and get your paydex score. Then with your paydex score, we're getting funding off that. We're not even worrying about our personal credit. So let's go ahead and get that done. Okay, so another way that you guys can turn your business credit into cash is what's called the cash advance strategy. Now the cash advance strategy, I must say, is like my least favorite, because this is the one that pretty much costs the most. So it's definitely the most expensive. It has more fees associated with it. It's just, like I said, it's just not my favorite. But of course, I'm giving you all the information because it is still possible to do it this way. So, you know, again, you might run into some type of emergency purpose to where, excuse me, So you might run into some type of emergency purpose to where, you know, you want to use this option. So again, like I said, I'm just here to give you the information. So if you want to go with it, go with it. If you don't, you don't. That's totally up to you. But it does work and it is possible, and yeah, it's still available. So anyway, the cash advance strategy, basically, obviously, as you hear, is a cash advance. So what that is, basically, you just pretty much taking cash advances from your credit card. But it's pretty much, you know, like I said, it's just a simple strategy. Nothing too much to go into it besides basically, like I said, you're just taking cash advances from your credit card. Again, with this option, it is the most expensive way. It is the one that's, I say, you know, because it has all the fees associated with it every time you take it off. So if you're not taking off at one time, each time you do it, it's going to take money off. So again, like I said, I still wanted to mention to you because this can still be used for anyone who's like in an emergency situation and needs, you know, this type of option available. So you're able to do it that way. Okay, so the next strategy here is what's called manufactured spending. So there are multiple ways you're able to use manufactured spending to actually take your business credit and turn it into cash. Literally multiple ways. So if you guys would like me to do a separate video on manufactured spending, definitely go ahead and like this video and drop a comment. I definitely can do a separate video as far as telling you all the plays as far as manufactured spending goes. But again, this video is for me to just mention what, you know, the strategies are. But yeah, if you guys want me to go into detail as far as exactly how you manufacture spend, go ahead and drop a like and comment on this video. But basically what manufactured spending is basically where you can take your credit cards and you can gather reward points and use the reward points and use them as cash. So there are multiple options like the gift card play, which I definitely always tell people to just be careful with because, like I said, it's when it comes to manufactured spending, this is like a strategic type of way to do it. It's not, you can't just be trying to just do it. Like you need to strategically, literally strategically, and I'm saying that word because it literally has to be strategic. You have to know exactly how to run this play exactly and how to move with it, because again, like I said, there are different ways you do it, but each way is like a step-by-step process for each option. So yeah, there's the gift card way, there's the bill pay play, there's also the partial return play. So and like I said, it's just multiple different ways. But basically what all that consists of is basically allowing you to obtain reward points on your credit card and use the reward points and turn them into cash. So if you guys, again, would like me to do a manufactured spending video in detail, make sure you guys like this video and drop a comment, and I will definitely get that video up for you, okay? Because yeah, that's some real sauce right there. But yeah, so manufactured spending is another way to actually turn your business credit into cash. There is also peer-to-peer lending. So peer-to-peer lending being like, you know, using services like Cash App and Venmo, and those aren't, you know, really on my top recommendation list, but those options are available. So like I said, again, I'm just here to give you the information because it definitely works, it's definitely available. So you can definitely do stuff like that. But again, I always like to say, you know, just try to be careful with that type of stuff, because anything you do, you just want to make sure you're not having a lot of fees or being associated with it. So that's the whole point, is to basically do this for no fee at all or a very low minimum fee. Another option is one thing I had learned from my guys. I'm not gonna, I mean, shout out to the guys, but yeah, just know I'm locked in with the goats, okay? And they be putting me on. So of course, when I'm getting put on, what do? I can put my people on. But I'm gonna go ahead and just drop this play for you guys because I feel like this is like one, like I said, I mean, you kind of gotta know how to do it, but it's another way to basically do the same thing, to turn your actual business credit into cash. So let's say, for example, and I call it the casino play, because I mean, it's a play, it's a strategy, it works. But basically, let's say, for example, you are staying at a luxury hotel that's a part of a casino, right? Say we take a trip to Vegas, we had a luxury hotel that's part of a casino. So say they have a like room service thing available where you can actually order chips to your room. So what you would do is you will order chips to your room through your credit card. You would bill it to the credit card. So once they actually bring the chips to your room, so say you order, you know, $1,000 worth, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever the case may be, you order all these chips to your room, you bill it to the credit card. So once these chips are actually in your hand, right, you go downstairs. I mean, it's up to you if you actually want to play or not. I mean, that's just on you. But if you don't actually play, you can actually cash your chips in, and what happens is they hand you cash back, right? Okay, cool. And that's it. Like, it's really that simple. So like I said, I call that one the casino play, but it definitely does work. So that's obviously one way to actually obtain the cash off your credit card immediately, by just walking downstairs and, you know, cashing your chips in. So yeah, make sure you guys jot that one down because that was a gem. This whole video really is like, I feel like it's a gem. But yeah, so that was another way. Okay guys, well, I guess that was it. That was all I have for you guys for this video as far as how you can transfer your business credit over to cash. Again, if you guys want me to drop a video as far as manufacturer spending and how to get approved for Amex, please drop a like on this video. If you have not, if you're not a part of the family, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join the gang. So yeah guys, make sure you guys like this video, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, and make sure you guys turn on your post notifications so that every single time I do post a new video, you will know about it.